sponsored by Great White Hot Sauce. It's a small batch, handmade hot sauce made especially for you. You can find it at www.trygreatwhite.com. It's also sponsored by South Florida Allied Health, located in Boca Raton, Florida, specializing in men's health, women's health, medical weight loss, IV therapy infusion, testosterone therapy, and hormone replacement therapy. Florida residents only. Well, here we are, episode 87. That was a good year. A really good year. On this episode, Jack's back. We're going to talk about some recent music news and the Doors. Yeah, we're going to dip our toes into that a little bit, although we've done it in the past, but now we're going to give our top 10 favorite Doors songs. It should be interesting. I think it's going to go by order because we might have a lot of the same. We'll see. Anyways, sit back, relax, enjoy the podcast. I know I will, even though Jack's here.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
The KOFB Studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast, hosted by Scott McLean with his co-host, Jack Calabrese. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction as usual. And once again, Amanda and I failed to get a new intro done that she was so eager to do. You know, college kids are busy in their days off when they come home from school. It's hard to pin them down, but we'll get it done eventually. But changed the intro, new sponsor, added a sponsor, South Florida Allied Health. I'm not going to say I know the owner, that I'm married to the owner. I'm not going to say that, but, you know, it's a free plug. Why not? It's my podcast. I can whatever I want. We're streaming live right now over Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, D-Live, and I don't know, another live stream platform. But so tonight, yeah, like you heard in the intro, we're going to talk about the Doors. Well, pretty much the top 10 favorite Doors songs. And I'm sure it's going to provoke some conversation between Jack and I, maybe an argument or two. And probably guaranteed to hear a whoa, 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 whoa at least once. And it's not going to be, Jack's going to get his wish tonight. It's not going to be a marathon show because my ass has to be at the airport at 4:30 in the morning. So I am not doing a 90-minute, 2-hour, 30-minute, and as of recently, almost 3-hour podcast. But you'll get an hour. That's about Jackie's limit. It's bedtime for Jackie. And speaking of Jackie, here he is, my friend Jack Calabrese.
Man, oh man, the abuse that I take on this show. Now we have 2 sponsors and I still get nothing out of it.
Come on down. I'll get you some testosterone.
Come on, you know, doctor, the good doctor, she doesn't have any T-shirts or hoodies or anything. No swag
Not
yet?
yet. No swag yet, but the swag is coming. The swag is coming. Swag is coming.
By the way, I did have the opportunity to listen to your show last week where you picked on me pretty hard, man. I mean, come on.
I made it a conscious effort not to. So whatever came out was
you know, Tom, wait a minute.
Light.
One of the things that you had discussed on it was that, you know, I don't know how I feel about Jack doing this thing where he comes on for an hour and, you know, ends up leaving or whatnot. But Look, you and I just have once again just a different philosophy. These marathon 2-hour
Love
shows,
them. Love
3-hour
Love
shows.
'em.
Come on, no,
Love
it's
them.
too
I
long.
could talk
Too
about
long.
music for hours, as we know. You evidently have
Yeah,
a
but
limit.
who the hell is listening that long?
Doesn't
Who's
matter.
listening?
If we
Give
were
us-
in it for
give
the
us-
money, that would be a question.
Hey,
If we
look,
were in it
you
for the
know how I
money.
feel.
What?
You know how I feel, about this type of thing, and we've talked about it before. But even the last time that Springsteen toured, he was renowned for doing these 4-hour shows, and I'm like, look, I'm a huge Springsteen fan.
Yeah.
Give me a tight 90 minutes and let me get the fuck out of here.
That I agree with as far as concerts go. Some can go a little bit long, and but I don't know. I just think talking about music, it's and listen, how we started and how we evolve it's going to be constantly changing. And I just thought that it's a more relaxed platform when we can just not worry about an hour or an hour and 20 minutes. I think it opened us up to better conversation and more entertainment. No one has complained that your show is too long. That's for sure. As a matter of fact, that was some of the feedback I got, is they always felt, and this is starting year 3, they always thought at the beginning we were leaving stuff on the table. And we did. We actually did.
There's no question about it. I mean, even in the longer shows that you've been doing, and the time that it almost seems like we're just getting going and we're already good 40 minutes into it, which is kind of cool. I get it. But I mean, you do a lot of research in terms of like podcasts and things like that. What's the average podcast length? Is there a recommendation? I mean, like I listen to, sometimes I listen to Smartless. I think that one's only 20 minutes.
So they say, and it's categorical. It's
categorical. I love that. It's categorical.
If you look at like info, like health, no one wants to talk 90 minutes, 2 hours about, I don't know, herpes, right? If it's suspense, like, okay, true crime, those usually go 45 minutes to an hour each episode. There's some that do half hours, but they have multiple shows, In the free form style, like I guess it's the Joe Rogan style, there is no real time limit, but there is data on if someone listens. I think they said for 12 minutes, then that's a win for you. It's like watching a YouTube video. If someone watches it for more than like 40 seconds, then, which is how Reels, I believe, and these other short form like TikToks became popular, because people are looking for that quick hit and then move on, which I don't like that. I think that's bad for us. It's bad for society. It's bad for this generation coming up, because it gives them literally short attention span theater.
Wait a minute. So are you inferring that us
there we go.
doing a shorter podcast is bad for society?
Well, we do have that effect. I just think
honey, Deb, look, I know you want me to come to bed, honey, but I have to stay on, because if I get up, it's bad for society. No, honey, I'm doing
it for the good of the country.
Scott and I need to talk for another 40 minutes about Wham because of humanity.
Oh, jeez.
For life, liberty, humanity, and society.
And milk crates and turntables. I felt like I was almost going into a little Gilbert Gottfried there. I'd like to get off the podcast, but I need to do it for humanity. He was the fucking best. They don't make comedians like him anymore. Or what's his name?
He was hilarious.
Or what's his name that just died? Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald was so underrated.
Yeah.
Overall,
hilarious.
as a fucking comedian, the dude, no one told a story better than him. I mean, and it was He was just brilliant at what he did. Hey, let me ask you a question. Let's get into music.
Please.
Which song? Here we go. You know, when I have the guys from Music Relish on, I can word things the way I want to word them, and they understand. Whereas you, I have to be very careful about how I word things, because you always go, well, that's subjective, and this is the, instead of just answering a question. So I'm going to say, which song do you...
Some of your questions, they're more categorical.
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 So,
good word. I like categorical.
Marvin Gaye, Inner City Blues, or
Yes.
Stevie Wonder, Living for the City.
Ooh.
Think about it, don't
So are you asking me which song I like better?
I can't say what do you think is a better song, because you go, well, you can't say what's better. It was so.
First off,
answer it the way you want to answer it. That's exactly how you say it. It's exactly how you say it.
I do not speak that way.
I know. I know you don't. I stand corrected. You usually say, "Well, you can't really say that to me because I don't know. Like I can't answer that." That's how sometimes. At least that's how it comes through my headphones. Yeah. So, which song do you think is all right, a better song? In your opinion, there's no right answer.
Yeah. No, they're both brilliant songs, but for me, I like the Marvin Gaye song better.
I gotta go with Stevie, man.
Yeah,
it's
great.
It's
a great song.
So Marvin Gaye, again in Inner City Blues it's a legendary song. There's no doubt about that. That's the category that song is in. It's a legendary song. It was groundbreaking. It was so outside his box when he put that out, the whole album, and it's a beautiful song. But Living for the City tells such a great story.
Yeah,
it's literally a great story. It's a sad story, but he really hits it. Like he fucking hits it. It was so in the moment, but it still is effective today. And I'm not getting into the race game or anything like that. Just the story itself and how he tells it, how he describes the girl, and her clothes. She doesn't have any clothes, but they're never hardly dirty. Like he really paints that picture. I just love. And then when he gets off, and I've said this, dude, since 1974 or whatever else, wherever it came out around that time. And when the kid gets off the bus and he says, wow, New York City, skyscrapers and everything.
Yeah.
I've done that in every city I've ever been in.
I'm sure
I've said that in every city. Wow, San Antonio, skyscrapers and everything. It was just it tells the story. I just love it.
I love those like storytelling songs, like, and I don't know if this fits as one other song to add to those two. It's a little bit different, but while you were talking about that kind of inner city loss of innocence, type story song, I was thinking of the song "Heartbreaker" by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that's a great song, man.
That's
what made me buy that album. That song made me buy that album. Yeah. Goat's Head Soup.
Yep. So,
and it's not even the best song on the album.
I think one of the reasons why I go with the Marvin Gaye thing is just because it's tied to what's going on, which you've heard me say over and over again that I think is a masterpiece and one of the greatest pieces of recording music in terms of a concept album of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but it's that's hard. You're like, Jack, what do you like, a porterhouse steak or filet mignon?
Yeah. Oh, porterhouse every time. It's bigger. It's bigger.
Yeah, but they're both. Yeah, but you're not going to lose either way.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I don't think I've ever really ordered a filet mignon. I don't go that route. I don't look at the temperature. I just look at how it's charring.
Yeah, but I mean, are you a rare, a medium rare, or well done guy?
Medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So slightly pink in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, and they always kind of, like I said, I only do that with chicken. I only test the temperature with chicken. I just know I just know when it's done. And then you let them stay afterwards, and there's always juice on the bottom. Like, I do it right. But our friend,
but I mean, you're meticulous in terms of, like, you have a way of cooking it.
Yeah,
you make sure that it rests once you actually take it off the grill.
Yeah.
You let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes under aluminum foil.
Yep.
Any special seasoning? You just a salt and pepper guy, or
salt and pepper, and my wife makes she makes a kind of a blend. I don't know what it is. Sometimes she'll throw that on there. And then sometimes, she wraps them and they'll sit overnight, that type deal. I very rarely just take them right out of the package and throw them on the grill.
Do you have a grill playlist when you're out grilling that you jump on a Spotify and you listen to certain music?
No, that's funny. No, I don't. Sometimes I'd be listening to maybe sports, something going on. But for the most part, no, I just have my regular playlist. My workout playlist is now turned into 180 songs. So now it's just my overall playlist. It doesn't even matter anymore. I'm not like, I don't have a lot. I try to do multiple playlists. I end up putting the same songs on different playlists because I know, I like it. That's like an all mood song. You know what I mean? Let me see. Dave Phillips, king of the 45s, is
Davey boy.
He says Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and Smokey Robinson made Motown great. Yes, they did. Yep. But he never answered the question. Living for the city or inner city blues? I think he's an inner city blues guy. I think he's an inner city blues guy.
Again, I think can go either way, man.
Yeah.
But he's right.
I heard them both the other day. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, he's right. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson made, Motown great. Motown is a staple for me that I return to quite often. The other ones, I'm a huge fan of the Temptations.
Yeah.
Love the Temptations. They were great.
I mean, Motown is literally a godsend to music. That whole company, that record label, was a godsend to music. It was brilliant.
Barry Gordy, man. Barry Gordy.
Brilliant.
So, hey, you got any music news?
He's a living for the city guy. Oh, yes, good man. Good man. All right. Let me ask you one more question though before we jump into. I have a couple of music news notes. If you had a chance to see, they're playing in the same night, they're playing in the same city. If you had a chance to see Noel Gallagher and the High Flying Birds and his High Flying Birds, or Liam Gallagher, who would you go see?
Oh. I think I would probably see Liam. And the reason I would see Liam, and this may not make any sense at all, is because he doesn't tour nearly as often as Noel does.
But just say he did. Just say he did, and you weren't really like, it wasn't the I'll never get to see him again aspect of it.
Yeah.
Say you were living in England, because he tours all around Europe. Liam Gallagher is.
I probably would still see Liam.
Yeah, I would definitely see Liam. Like I said, he is a modern day fucking rock star, man. Still.
Yeah,
he has made a steady rise, a very steady rise since they broke up. Noel took off like a rocket and went right into it. Liam kind of laid back and kind of built his career back up. Where I think he headlined Nebworth the 2022. So
yeah,
I mean, he's just a fucking rock star.
Well, yeah, and you know what? He's the voice.
But
so
Noel is close. Like Noel pulled off all those songs.
Noel's close, but it's still not exactly the same kind of level of charisma. And even though he's close, he's not the voice. So when Liam, if and when Liam actually dives back into the old Oasis catalog, you're going to get a closer representation of what those songs are supposed to sound like.
Unlike when Johnny Marr or Johnny fucking Marr from the Smiths started his solo career and started catching on, and he got his following, and he went on. I believe he went on maybe, I don't know, Letterman or one of those late night shows, and he proceeded to do "How Soon Is Now." I was like, you probably should have left that one alone. You're the great guitar player you are. You are a one-of-a-kind guitar player. You found your niche in the guitar world. You are well-respected and well-renowned by your peers, but you can't sing like Morrissey, and you should have left that song alone. Just did not come out right,
Yeah.
But so...
Hey, I don't think it matters. I think, it's only a matter of time before you and I are standing in the audience watching Oasis reformed. Yes, they will.
No.
Yes, they will.
You're praying because I have to buy the tickets, motherfucker.
And I want good seats too.
Oh,
none of this nosebleed shit. I'm expecting. I'm expecting platinum seats, first 5 rows, with my goofy fucking tour laminates and my commemorative tour poster, and I want a hot dog.
Dude, the hot dog will be as much as the ticket. The nosebleed seats are going to be like $500 because Joan Jett is coming around here. She's playing at one of the casinos down here, and one of there's a few Seminoles. This one's in Coconut Creek. And even she's asking $125 a ticket. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, she's maybe an $80 concert. She's not a $125 concert. I'm not spending the $250 to take my wife to see Joan Jett in the Blackhearts. Not now. Yeah. I'd pay $80 a piece. That would be the max I would pay to see Joan Jett. Is that about right for you?
I think that you're in the right ballpark. Concert tickets, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, have just gotten way out of hand. But again, this is really to a certain extent left into, the decision is left in the hands of the purchasing public. Yeah. And when people stop paying $125 for Joan Jett tickets, that's when they'll come down, if they ever do.
Yeah, I don't.
But again, part of the problem when it comes to you and I is because we're such big music fans, and because we generally go to, I won't say a ton of shows, but we go to more shows than the average person.
Yeah,
it potentially impacts us more. There are people that are like, yeah, it's $125 to see Joan Jett, but it's the one show that we're going to this year.
And that was a good point. I actually brought that up to the guys from Music Relish when we were talking about that, and I said, Jack made the point that. So people save all their money, and they haven't been to a concert in years, and they'll spend a paycheck just for a ticket to go see that one concert. But the guy that a lot of people though,
Yeah, the guy that I work with, or the guy that I work more technically, told me that he got tickets for he and his wife to see Pink in Fenway Park, which is a horrible place to see a show. And I think he paid in the area of $600 or $700 per ticket. Got the money, number one, and number two, it's the one show that he'll go to this year. And actually, you know what? It may be the one show that he goes to for the past years.
Yeah.
So he'll take the hit. Yeah. Where like you and I, if Noel and Liam Gallagher are coming to town and they're playing the same night, one of the things that might factor into our decision, Liam's tickets are $2 and Noel's are $125. That might inspire us to go one way.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be disappointed if I saw either one of them. Let's put it that way.
Who knows?
Let me see. Dave Phillips
but
says,
even I've been conditioned to like.
Go on.
I was going to say, even I have been kind of. I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I got you.
Okay. Even I have been kind of lured into this. The ticket prices are so high that I've seen tickets that are like 280. I was like, oh shit, well that's not that bad. Because
Well,
I'm
again,
seeing other tickets that are I'm seeing other tickets that are, $5, $6, $700. I was like, oh, 280, that's a bargain.
yeah, yeah. I
They're
guess you're right.
screwing us, man.
Yeah. Let me see. Mark Smith said Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday. Because I'm flying to the motherland, to Boston tomorrow morning very early. So I don't want to miss a week. I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated to
I'm
showing
here.
up.
I'm here. Am I here?
Wait till the summer comes around. Mark and Lou are going to be very busy boys again.
Yes, they are.
Jack disappears in the summer.
I was in Europe.
Hey, U2 has
heard.
reimagined 40 of their own songs for the new album, Songs of Surrender. They said it's a collection. It's coming out in March. It will complement Bono's recent memoir, Surrender, 40 songs, one story. And what? Every story was named after a song in their catalog, correct?
There's
in his book, in his memoir.
In the book, each of the chapters are named after one of the songs.
Song.
And I have to tell you, if you listen to the audio version of the book, they play little snippets of the reimagined stuff. Some of it's really good.
So there's a video.
I
was saying you can go on. There's a video for it, and it's a reimagined version of "Beautiful Day," and it's like a minute long. But the fucking clip is awesome. It's kind of spans their career, but it's done in a very kind of different style. And I like those reimagined songs. I liked when Echo and the Bunnymen did theirs a few years ago.
Well, when I had the good fortune to see Bono perform live to do his book tour earlier this year, he actually did some of those reimagined songs live, and they were tremendous. And I'll tell you that I said it in a previous episode. The guy can still sing.
Yeah,
he still has a voice. He can still hit the high notes. Maybe not as high as he once was able to hit them, and he was maybe not as a ferocious singer as when he first started out. But he can still, really sing.
He's no Roland Orzabal, that's for sure. That dude sounds like 1984 all over again. I swear, when I saw him, I was amazed. And for people that know, he's the singer, one of the singers from Tears for Fears. I was amazed. And the guy is no spring chicken, and his voice is fucking powerful as it ever was. High notes, low notes. It was really amazing to see that. It caught me totally off guard. You go to see these older bands, and like you said, voice kind of goes down an octave. But I think Bono was one of those guys that probably still takes voice lessons or practice. I don't think he takes his voice for granted.
I'm sure he practices. I'm sure that he has a vocal coach and somebody that watches after him. But he's not a very good boy in terms of he talks a lot. I think he still smokes cigars and he likes his whiskey.
Yeah.
None of those are great combinations for
your voice.
For your voice.
And he is not aging well.
No, he's had a couple of close calls.
Yeah, but he looks older than he should.
Yeah, he had a heart issue where that's actually how the book opens up, where we almost lost him.
Yeah.
We almost lost him, but he does look much older than he actually is.
Let's see. So he's got to be early 60s, right?
I think he's 62. I'll guess.
Yeah, he's right there. He's right. He's only a little older than us, or me. You're a couple years younger than me. Maybe 64.
Yeah. No, he's 62. I just looked it up.
62. Yeah, he doesn't look 62.
No, he looks 72.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. And, that's travel. They say jet lag, whatever. It's genetics. He just is not looking like he used to. But it sounds good. I'm definitely interested in it. Go to YouTube and you just look for the Songs of Surrender trailer, and it's a pretty cool little video, man. It's pretty cool little video. They haven't given out the track listing yet, though. Whether it is the book, they're not saying. If it's the songs from his book or not, they haven't really said. But they're thinking it's going to be kind of complimentary to it. So I assume
I heard a rumor just the other day. I don't know if it's true or not. Is that to coincide with this is that they're supposedly doing a residency in Las Vegas this year.
ugh.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah. I like that like Morrissey did it and things like that, but U2 is like a whole different level of rock, you know. I mean, rock and roll. It just is. As much as I love my man Morrissey, U2 is just another fucking level. You know, they are the upper echelon. They are in the upper echelon of rock history, and they're going to do a Vegas residency. I'm not a big fan. Mark Smith says, being Irish is tough on the face. I know. That's what he said. Come on, buddy. Self-deprecation. Self-deprecation. You got any music news? You got a?
I sure do. I think the biggest music news that I have right now. A couple of weeks ago, Dave Grohl put out a notification alerting everybody that the Foo Fighters are far from being done, although acknowledging that it's going to be a much different band without Taylor Hawkins. And then just today, this may be news for you, Mr. McLean, that the Foo Fighters are one of the bands that are actually headlining the Boston Calling Festival Memorial Day weekend at Harvard, just outside of Harvard University at Harvard Stadium. So announced today, the few outlets that I read actually said that in Boston will be the reemergence of the Foo Fighters, their first show. Now, I think there's certainly a chance that they might do a couple of warm-up shows. They might play before then, but this is the first announced show of the Foo Fighters post the sad Taylor Hawkins death. And just while we're talking about it, just to give you some of the highlights for the Boston Calling Festival. So it's a 3-day festival. And the headliners and Foo Fighters and the Yeah-Yeahs the first night. The second night being headlined by the Lumineers and Alanis Morissette. And then the third night, Paramore and Queens of the Stone Age. Some of the other notable bands that are on there are The National, the Bleachers, Chelsea Cutler, Niall Horan. One of the things that was kind of interesting about this Boston Calling lineup is, aside from the headliners each night, there's a lot of names on there that I don't know. My brother Jimmy was actually commenting saying, I'm not going to go. They've spent a lot of money to get these headliners, and then there's a bunch of no names after. And I was like, well, is it really a bunch of no names, Jim?
Right.
Or have we gotten old enough that we just don't know these bands, that we're not the hip guys that we once were? And some of these bands are probably far better known by, my our
stepdaughter,
kids.
Myself. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They probably know that. I'll tell you, one of the things that was a little bit disappointing to me in the Boston Calling lineup, especially as it pertains to the headliners, real lack of diversity. I mean, the headliners: Foo Fighters, Yeah-Yeahs, Lumineers, Alanis Morissette, Paramore, and Queens of the Stone Age. Where's the color, man? Where's the hip hop? Where's the diversity? It's pretty much straight ahead, kind of rock. Lumineers probably a little bit more folky, but it would be nice to see a broader representation of different musical genres.
Well, maybe The Weeknd. People joke about his name, but the kid's talented.
Yeah.
The Weeknd.
Well,
he's a talented kid. I mean, this is who he would bring in. I would think someone like him. Let me see. I want to. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Are you reading that? It says, hi.
Who is this?
I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything in your hands. Turn it on, turn it off, customize. Go to, I'm not going to give them the, they want their bots. They're fucking
them.
bots.
Go
Fuck
away.
you. Get off my show.
Go
Fucking
away.
bots. And like I always say, Perry Denovich from the Music Relish podcast, I call him a bot because I have yet to meet him. He follows the show. He got Mark Smith and Lou Colicchio, you know, like they got involved. They come on the podcast. But Perry is a bot. I'm telling you, he's a Russian bot. That might be from him. Son of a bitch. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, you know what? Listen, who knows? Budget. There's always budget.
Well, it could be timing. It could be a number of different reasons that it didn't work out. But you know, in the past, Boston Calling has had. I don't know if the weekend may have actually played Boston Calling at one point, but we saw Chance the Rapper there one year, and they've definitely had representation in the past. But the past couple of years, it just hasn't worked out that way. But I will tell you that, you know, the point that I tried to make to my brother Jimmy, and I'll read you a couple of the names. So, you know, aside from the Foo Fighters and the Yeah-Yeah-Yeahs in the first night, then it's the National, Niall Horan, Chelsea Cutler, Teddy Swims, Leon Talk, Salisi, The Beaches, Olita, GA20, Elisa, Amador, Little Fuss, Blue Light, Bandits, Summer Cult, and Brandy Blaze. Admittedly, I don't know a lot of those bands, but this is one of the things that I really like and appreciate about these types of festivals is that, you know, for one price, and I get it, it's probably a little bit more expensive than just going to one show, but you get exposed potentially to so much different music that you normally wouldn't go to see or may not have the opportunity to see. That's one of the things that I really kind of like about these types of festivals is, you know, you can kind of bounce around and you can pick and choose and get exposed and really get turned on to some bands that you may not have gotten exposed to, which I think is pretty cool.
There was a little festival down in Miami the first time my stepson and I went and saw Gorillaz, and it was in a cool venue in down in Miami, and it's in kind of the art district. And so they had the main stage. It was outside. But then you could walk into this building, and they had one room with one band playing. You go over here, there's a room with a DJ playing. It was like you get a good, as you said, diversity of sound. Hey, let me ask you this. Did anyone else from The Doors ever sing a song on an album? Or sing on a song on any of their albums?
I mean, you
except for Stronger Than Dirt.
Oh my God, we'll talk about that after. You do know that they made 2 albums after Morrison died.
Yeah, I would say while Morrison was alive, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Actually, there's one song, Runnin' Blue.
Oh.
Where Robbie Krieger.
Sung by Robbie Krieger?
Yeah, well, he shares the vocals.
Yeah.
And the chorus with Morrison. And for those that, they might not know the name, but if you're a Doors fan, poor Otis dead and gone, left me here to sing his song. Pretty little girl in a red dress on, poor Otis dead and gone. Now, you know that was a tribute to Otis Redding. Did you know that?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. But it had go on.
Before we get into it, you know, and you're gonna have to forgive me, I can't remember, but big Doors fan, Doors fan, don't really care about them.
Not like top notch Doors fan like some of our friends were growing up. But I absolutely I like the Doors. I'm not a fan of every song. You know, there's certain songs that I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the things that I appreciate about doing this show on the moments that you actually invite me on, knowing that we were going to be doing this on the Doors, I listened to every one of the first 6 Doors albums consecutively in order. And definitely heard stuff that I either had forgotten I had heard or maybe had not heard. I'm not maybe I think there's a possibility that there are some of the albums that I hadn't listened to from start to finish, and I actually found a couple of things that I really, really liked that I didn't really
Okay.
know,
We're
which
going to
was
get into that.
which was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Is it are any of them in your new top 10 list that we're going to go through?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll get to that, but do you know that there was a song that Jim Morrison refused to sing?
Yeah, it was the Robbie Krieger tune that he didn't like the lyrics to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what the song was? It was called
I can't remember off the top of my head. I
was
just read
called
about it too.
it was called Hit Me.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the song got changed, but the original lyrics were, "Come on, come on, come on, now hit me, baby," instead of touching. So he's like, I am not going to say that. Now, it says that Manzarek kind of paraphrased Morrison. He said, no way am I going to sing that song saying hit me. He said, he goes, Robbie, people are going to walk up to me in the street and hit me. They're going to go, come on, come on, come on, and hit me, and they're going to punch me. That's what he said to Robbie Krieger, right? Which brought me back to Ringo Starr, Get By With a Little Help from My Friends. The original lyrics were, what would you do if I sang you a tune? Would you throw a tomato at me?
Yeah.
And he told the Beatles, fuck you.
Nope.
No, they are going to start launching tomatoes at me when I'm up on stage.
Well, do you remember that
changed
happened? And so, yeah, so, go back. We were talking about the Foo Fighters a couple of minutes ago. You remember one of their early videos? I think it was Big Me. They were doing kind of a spoof on the Mentos commercials.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they complained for like years after that every time they were playing on stage, people kept
Mentos.
pelting them with Mentos.
They mimicked a Mentos commercial.
That's right.
Know? And well, that's what you get, right? So Jim wasn't that far off. Neither was Ringo.
So and then speaking of Mentos in terms of product placement and advertising and that type of thing, you kind of alluded to Touch Me in the last couple of lines or the last couple of notes. Do you want to proceed and tell that story?
As far as
stronger than dirt.
No, you go ahead.
So for those of you that don't know this, and I didn't know this, I actually just read this myself. So this is what it says. If you listen to the version of Touch Me on the album, not the single version, but it just so happens that the last four notes of Touch Me are the same melody as an Ajax commercial back in the 60s.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
So the song ends stronger than dirt, and the way that it came about was that, and I'll just read it to you. So it says the last four notes of Touch Me by coincidence happen to be the same as the Stronger Than Dirt jingle used in advertisements for the Ajax detergent product. The reason that Morrison sang the jingle on the album version of the song was because he was getting a dig in on his three bandmates. The Buick automobile brand had wanted to pay the Doors to use Light My Fire in their television ads. However, Buick needed the consensus of all four band members to be granted the rights to use the song, and Morrison vetoed it. So by singing the ad slogan that just happened to match the last four notes of Touch Me, Morrison was mocking his bandmates for wanting to sell out while rubbing in the fact that he had put the kibosh on it. The Stronger Than Dirt vocal ending was excised on the single version of the song, which was a different mix than the Soft Parade album.
Right.
I didn't know that. And to be quite honest with you, and maybe they have a tendency to play the single version on the radio, but I had to go back and listen to it to hear that. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Touch Me, if you listen closely to the ending of Tempted by Squeeze.
Yeah.
Right at the very end, you'll hear what's his name? Chris Difford. And they'll go, tempted by the fruit of another. And you hear him say, touch me. Touch me. You can hear him whisper that right at the very, like the last, like 15 seconds. Touch me. Yeah. Take a listen next time you hear it.
So is it a reference to the
I guess
Doors,
it's a
or-
whole tempted thing, you know, tempted by the fruit of another. And then you hear him just go, touch me. If you listen closely, see, there you go. Let's
Little
get into the talk.
secrets.
Yeah. But you'll never unhear it. That's the thing about those things. You'll never unhear it. You'll hear it now from now on, once you catch it. But for years, you never knew it existed. Right? So,
Yeah.
all right, let's get, give me your number 10 on your list of, now, are yours in particular order, or this is just 10 songs?
It's
somewhat
10,
of an order, right?
It's 10 songs. You know, they're definitely my favorites, and some of them are a little bit different.
I have a few that are different.
And I will tell you that some of them, and I know that you and I have a tendency to differ in our opinions on this, but not only did I listen to, you know, the Doors albums consecutively in an order and whatnot, but I also listened to a lot of their live records.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you know, the Doors historically were either a band that were really on or they were really off. And a lot of them being on or off was really dependent upon what kind of shape and what kind of mood Jim Morrison was in.
Yeah.
But when they were on, they were a ferocious live band. The number 10 for me is the live version of Peace Frog.
The live
in
version.
The streets of the
Yeah.
city, New Haven.
I have that as 1, 2, 3, 10, 9, 8. I have that Peace Frog, but from Morrison Hotel as my number 7. Yeah, I love that's a great song.
It's a great song. And that the you know, for me, it's all about that guitar riff.
I have a few here that aren't the norm. We all love Break On Through. Not Break On Through. We all love Backdoor Man. We all love, but I have these. You said favorite songs, right? So my list is kind of a little bit different than what the average Doors fan might think. So my number 10 is The Changeling.
Great.
I love that fucking song. Just the whole the groove at the beginning, you know. So I have The Changeling at my number 10. What do you got for number 9?
Number 9 is actually a cover version that was released after Morrison's, you know, death, when you know, they started putting out, you know, compilations and live records. By the way, this kind of killed me. So just so you know, totally, the Doors put out 9 studio albums, right? So, and I think it was 6 of them while Morrison was alive, right? So the Doors, Strange Days, Waiting for the Sun, Soft Parade, Morrison Hotel, and L.A. Women. But here's a band that's been kind of exploited by the estate of Jim Morrison in the record companies. So get this. So they have a total of 9 studio albums. So it's the 6 that I just listed, the 2 that they did post Morrison's death without Morrison, and then the one, American Prayer, which was really just a lot of him reading his poetry.
Yeah.
They have 5 live albums out. And I think it's actually more than that. Compilation albums, 21. There's 21 Doors compilations albums. Yeah, 2 soundtrack albums. There's 8 box sets. And then there's 23 archive albums.
Jesus.
So for a band in the height of their popularity, when Morrison was still alive, they put out 6 records, and then collectively after, let me do the quick math, 51, 53, 58, 67 albums in total. 67.
Wait, is that where Carly Simon got that idea?
67 albums. So my number 9 is the live version of the Doors version of the song Gloria.
Gloria. Yeah. Good song.
So
I don't think we're gonna have any arguments on any of these songs. By the way,
there's a famous story that when they were the house band at the Whiskey A Go Go, they backed up or opened for Van Morrison and them, and they did supposedly like a 25 minute version of Gloria, both bands playing together.
Wow, imagine being into that one.
That would have been a good one.
My list is basically made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 albums. That's just how my list broke, man. So the Changeling was off of LA Woman. My number 9 is, and actually I was listening to this song when it came on one night on the radio. I was driving home probably from dinner with my wife, and even she said, that's a beautiful song. And it is from their debut album, The Crystal Ship. Great song, man.
That's my number 6.
Yeah. Great song. Remember we were growing up, there was a cover band called The Crystal Ship that did all Doors songs. And they were pretty popular around New England area, Massachusetts area.
Yeah, part of that was people were so hungry to see anybody play the Doors live.
Like the Blushing Brides, they were the Rolling Stones kind of tribute band. When tribute bands weren't fucking creepy like they are today, but that's a whole nother. We're going to have that conversation maybe on our next episode. But yeah, The Crystal Ship off the debut album is my number 9. What do you got for 8?
Number 8, one of my absolute favorites, and listening to it, the thunder and lightning strikes scared the shit out of me one time, but Riders on the Storm, I think that's such a beautiful tune.
I have that as my number 3. Can't Go Wrong, and that's off of LA Woman. Yeah, that's a great fucking, that album. Too bad he died before they got to play that shit live. Another one off of their, which is widely considered, if you were going to do a top 10 of debut albums, it is definitely, I'd say maybe in my book, the top 5 greatest debut albums was The Doors and The End off of. Now, my brother likes the live version of The End. My brother Colin, he likes the live version. He also likes, we were talking earlier, and he was saying how that song in Apocalypse Now, those scenes was just made the movie. And we had talked about this topic about songs in movies that made a scene what it was. And The End in Apocalypse Now is epic. It just brings
just masterful in the way that it was used, edited
and used.
Not only is it, in some movies there are soundtracks where it's just in the background, right?
Yeah.
But that is something that absolutely heightened that scene.
Yep.
In terms of its overall drama and the brutality of it. And I mean, just absolutely brilliant and masterful in the way that they've actually kind of intertwined what you were seeing visually and what you were hearing sonically. Hey, that sounded pretty good. Hey, did you just hear what I was going to say?
That's a good.
That's pretty good, huh?
It. Look at you. You were categorically good. Categorically good.
I was slinging it, man. I was slinging it.
It actually is. I think it's at the beginning too, when he's in the hotel room and he's in Martin Sheen is he's tripping, and he really was, and he was drunk. Anyways, great song off the debut album, The End. What do you got for number? What is it? 7? Yeah.
So number 7, a little bit different.
Or your 8. What's your number 8?
Well, my number 8 was Riders on the Storm.
Okay, yeah. Now number 7, yeah.
Yeah, mine. So number 7. This is a song that's not as well known. For us Doors fans, we probably know it, but love, just because I'm a huge fan of guitar music, Spanish Caravan.
I listened to that one earlier. I did listen to it, and it was okay. Not one of my favorites, as it's not on my list. But it's definitely different. It's definitely a different song from them.
It's not your list. It's my list.
I was trying to avoid a fight. I was trying to,
dude.
Before you didn't even whoa me. You should have just whoa. This is not your list. This is my list.
Dude, you gave me that half-ass answer with your voice changing a little bit. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Well, what am I supposed to say? Great fucking choice, Jack.
It's like I served you.
Great choice, buddy.
It's like I served you cold oatmeal.
Look,
Scott, how do you like your oatmeal? Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Look, asshole, people don't listen to this for me and you to go, hey, thumbs up, Jack. Hey, that's a double thumbs up, Jack. No, they don't listen to us for that, okay? And by the way, Mark Smith said, good point. He said, The End Oh, Mark Smith of the Music Relish podcast. Go listen to them. The End is the perfect example of a song that was ahead of its time. No one, and then capital letters, no one had a song like that released on a major label, which 100% correct. Yep.
Well,
it was.
You know what? I think Mark brings up a good point, and I was curious about this as I was listening to a lot of Doors music over the past couple of days, that they must have been a really tough band to place because they were so, like Jim Morrison himself, a little bit bipolar because, you had Light My Fire and you had Riders on the Storm that were, beautiful and accessible. But then you had things like The End and Horse Latitudes and, When the Music's Over that are way out there. Like one of the things that I had imagined when I was listening to one of their live albums is those poor fucking bastards that didn't really know the Doors that went to see them in concert because they just wanted to hear Light My Fire.
And they must have been sat in front of those people or behind those people. Yeah.
They must have been like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
Like, this dark, poetic, lamenting, slow moving, drone stuff. I just don't know what's going on. Did we just lose Scott? I think we just lost Scott. Well, it looks like we're going to take over the show one more time. Scott's not very good at being a host on the show anyway. So we'll just see where he's at. Where is he? Hello, Scott?
I guess. There we go. The fuck just happened?
Where'd you go?
I don't know. I don't know where you went.
I think the show's been. I think the show's been haunted by the ghost of Jim Morrison.
Oh, Mark Smith said Scott had to pee. No, yeah, well, at least I leave Mark Smith. He'll hold it for 2 hours like a dog.
Scott's a consummate professional. Right now, he's actually wearing a diaper. He's actually gone pee twice already.
That's right. Damn right. Yeah. He went riding. Okay, everybody jump on the host. Yeah, that's good. Okay, my number 7 was Peace Frog, as we said. So I'm going to jump to my number 6. Great song off of L.A. Woman. Most every song off that album was great. Jack, I want to talk to you about Texas radio and the Big Beat. Yeah, coming out of the Virginia swamps, right? The Wasp, Texas radio and the Big Beat. I just loved it. They had great intros. They had great intros in their songs, and that's I think the common thread to all my top 10 is the intros. They're just great intros. So, what do you got?
So I got to skip over my next two because my next two are The Crystal Ship and The End, which we kind of already talked a little bit about.
Yeah.
And I'll go to number 4, which is Roadhouse Blues. Love-hate relationship. I think that this song had a tendency to be a bit overplayed. Especially, any house party. Any house party that you and I were at, this song was coming on.
I don't know what's going on again. I think it's me that's cutting out. Or is it Jack? All right, whoever's watching the show, who do you see, me or Jack? I need to know. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm going to put it on and see what's going on. Oh, you got me. Okay, so Jack dumped. Yeah, see? Payback is a bitch. Huh, Jack? Hello, let me do it, Jack does me. Hello, Jackie? Are you there? Jackie? I guess Jack had to go pee-pee in his diaper. How's it feel now, Jack? With your New Hampshire Wi-Fi? Jesus. Well, I'm going to move on to my list. So my next song coming down, I think this is my number 5, is off of Strange Days, Moonlight Drive. Moonlight Drive, great song. I again, all my songs seem to have a theme, and it's the intro to the song, but then it continues all the way through. So I got that. And number 4. So let me see. Don't pick on the guitar player. Never pick on the guitar. All you, Mark Smith. You know what? You're a great guy. You really are. I appreciate you. I respect your knowledge. Jack's bye-bye. Bye-bye, Jackie. Bye-bye. Nothing new there, though. Nothing new with Jack leaving the show. This is actually a normal show now because Jack's not here. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. My podcast, I say what I want. But Mark Smith, back to you, my friend. Back to you. And you're my buddy. You really are. I mean, you're a great guy. But you and you fucking musicians, fuck you. You and the musicians, sticking up for the musicians. Yeah. Just because I don't play an instrument, you all gang up on me every once in a while. Yeah, I don't think Lou is innocent either. I think Lou Calicchio jumps in on it too sometimes. Yeah. You guys, you act like nice guys on Music Relish. I don't know. That's questionable. So, Moonlight Drive. Then number 4, I'll go with Light My Fire. Although, my question is, which version do I like better? My question to myself, which version do I like better? And I've said this a number of times on this podcast. Do I like the Doors version better? Or do I like the Jose Feliciano version better? I don't know. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Uh-oh, here he is. Hold on. You know, I really wish Jack was on the show. I really miss him. I don't know what I would do with... Oh, Jack's back. Dude, I didn't know what to do without you. I was lost. I stuttered and stammered and are you there? Jesus Christ. Are you there? Right before I'm ready to leave to go to Boston. And are you there? Check. I can hear that fucking guitar. He's gonna not. Yeah, that's your musician, Mark Smith. Yeah. What is... His picture's frozen on my screen. Am I frozen? I don't know. Well, we've gone over an hour, that's for sure. So, are you there, Jack? Are you there? Jackie? Jackie? Are you there? Let's see. I can hear him. Let's see. Let me give him a call. See if he has his phone.
Hello?
Jackie? Hello? Hello? Are you okay?
You know what? It's just spinning on my end.
Yeah, because you got that fucking New Hampshire Wi-Fi.
Hey, you'll be up here tomorrow, buddy.
Not in New Hampshire. Well, I'm just going to keep going, and then if you pop back in, you pop back in. Time's ticking, buddy. Time's ticking.
I know your bedtime's coming.
Yeah. Do you want to stay on the phone?
I'm going to see if I can get things going on here. But I thought initially that it was you that was cut off.
Listen, you know what I just figured out? You motherfucker. I just figured this out. As soon as we hit an hour, you all of a sudden had technical difficulties. You motherfucker. You set this up.
I did.
You set this up right at an hour, right at Jack's time limit where he usually just leaves. He has, now so it says, I hear both he is frozen. I don't know what that means. Now you conveniently have technical difficulties at 1 hour. You motherfucker. I will not forget this.
I don't know what the issue is because they have good connectivity.
Evidently you don't.
I'm gonna get out and try to come back in one more time.
Yeah, you do that. And I'm hanging up. I hung up on him. Get off my show. Anyways, Then I'm going to go to number 3, Riders on the Storm from L.A. Woman. I didn't answer my question. I don't know which version I like better. The Jose Feliciano version of Light My Fire. I've said it 100 times. If you've never listened to it, go listen to it on YouTube. Jose Feliciano, Light My Fire. Great version. Now let's give this one more try. Are you there? Jack?
Ah, I got you.
Ah, you motherfucker. Yeah, that was good. Now, I'm going to give you credit for that one. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get that. You get that. Enough of that. All right, give me. I was on my number 3, Riders on the Storm. My number 2, L.A. Woman, right? And we covered Riders on the Storm. L.A. Woman. Just, I mean, listen. It's a can't go wrong song. Just really is. Can't go wrong song.
So L.A. Woman is probably one of my least favorite Doors songs, and it's a great song, but just dreadfully.
Whoa! This is my list. Not your list.
I'm giving you my impression. It did not make my list because I don't care for that song.
So I don't care about your list. This is my list, as Jack says. Talking about my list. Okay. All right. What's your number 2?
The Soft Parade.
Yeah, it's okay.
Fuck you.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's got a little drama to it. It's got like 3 different kind of sections to it. It's kind of different. It's kind of funky.
Nah, it's a good song. It is a good song.
I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is to go along with it being in, I'd say, the top 5 greatest debut albums of all time. The way this fucking album is introduced is just amazing. Whoever produced it, I don't know who the producer was, who arranged the tracks, but that opening.
I think it was Bruce Bach. That ticking by John Densmore. What a great! It just opens up the whole fucking album, man. Break On Through is. Can you do the ticking just a little bit more? Thank you. That's good. All right, that's enough. So my number 1, and again, these aren't in any particular order. This isn't my absolute favorite Doors song, but it was one that I really kind of rediscovered in listening over the past couple of days, which was Shaman's Blues, which not a very well known song by the Doors.
Listen to that, and
I think that was one of the reasons why I really appreciated it and put it on my list, because it felt new to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of fresh, and I kind of dug it. Hey, do we not have comments anymore? Or am I just not seeing them on my end?
You're probably not seeing them on your end because you logged out and then logged back in, so you probably lost the comment section. But if someone comments in, it'll pop up. Like you'll get a new feed. But we just got Dave Phillips said good show before you went off, and then you went and fucked up technically and all that shit. But all right, well, those are good lists. I'm gonna push through this. You owe me 8 minutes, so I'm gonna get this done in 8 minutes.
So wait a minute. Before you go, I just want to acknowledge one thing that I read that I kind of thought was kind of funny. So one of the things that the Doors were known for is that most people recognize that they did not have a what?
They didn't have a bass player.
They didn't have a bass player. Exactly. That being said, do you realize that when they first started out, they had somebody by the name of Patty Sullivan that was a bass player, then Larry Neckel, and then on their albums, you had Douglas Luban, Kerry Magnus, Leroy Vinegar, Harvey Brooks, Ray Neapolitan, Lonnie Mack, Jerry Sheff, Jack Conrad, Chris Etheridge, Charles Lockley, and Leland Schuyler are all bassists that were credited on playing on Doors songs. They had more bass players than most other bands.
Yeah, that's what, 14 or something?
They had a bunch of them.
14 bass players. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but undeniable band. There's people out there that don't. I don't think it's a love-hate. I just think everybody likes them. Few people hate them.
I got a buddy, my buddy Jeff DeBello, good friend of mine, big music guy, smart guy, not a big Doors fan, doesn't believe them to be a rock band in any way, shape, or form. It's one of those things that he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't dig them. He doesn't think they're cool at all.
I don't see how you can deny them not being a rock band. That's pretty hard. That's pretty hard. I don't understand that.
Before we leave them, I kind of find it interesting that on our list, like, no Hello, I Love You, no Love Her Madly, no Alabama Song, no
Roadhouse Blues.
Well, I had Roadhouse Blues on mine.
Okay.
No Love Me Two Times.
Right.
No Light My Fire. We went a little bit deeper.
I have Light My Fire. I do have Light My Fire. And I had said my question is always, you were off the air, but my question is always, which version do I like better? The Doors version or the Jose Feliciano version? I
love the Jose Feliciano version.
I flip a coin on that every time. I mean, when I first heard him sing that, Jose Feliciano, back in the 70s, it's like a whole nother song. It's like a fucking whole nother song, but it's the same song. And he's just magnificent on the acoustic guitar, and his voice and the way he sings it. It's just an amazing version of that song. So I don't know. I don't know which version I like better. But then I hear the Doors, and I'm like, it's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. So yeah.
One last thing that I want to share that I never made this connection, and I wonder if you did. But listening to it and doing a little bit of research on the band, I never made the connections. So the song "Hello, I Love You."
Yeah.
Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name?
Right.
Girl, I want to be with you in the daytime. The Kinks were actually going to sue the Doors for copyright infringement because they claim that the melody for Hello, I Love You was stolen from their 1964 hit All of the Day and All of the Night. If you go onto YouTube, there's actually like one or two videos where somebody creatively did a mashup of the two songs. Like, I never heard that. I never made that connection.
Yeah.
And now that
I don't think I have either. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And now that I made it, I'm not sure that I can distinguish one from the other.
Let me see.
It's cool.
Listen to Hyacinth House about how Jim felt at the time about people kissing him. I don't know.
Maybe listening to him.
I don't know.
Bobby Doucette.
I don't know. All right, let's get this over with. Let's get this show moving. Top 10 this week in 2010. I jumped way ahead. So just 12 years ago. Let's see what we were listening to or what we weren't listening to. Number 10, Do You Remember by Jay Sean featuring Sean Paul and Lil Jon. Number 9, Sexy Bitch Chick by Dave Guetta featuring Akon. Number 8, Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. Can't believe she's had longevity. She is not. Her voice is fucking, oh, God.
She's a talented lady. I love Miley Cyrus.
She's no Katy Perry, but okay. Number 7 this week in 2010 was Down by Jay Sean featuring Lil Wayne. Number 6, What You Say by Jason Derulo. Number 5, Empire State of Mind. Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, actually a really good song. You should listen to it. Number 4, Fireflies by Owl City. Number 3, Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. Number 2, Replay by Leaz. And number 1, TikTok by Keisha. Now, moving on. This day of music, January 10th. Some interesting stuff, Jack. Elvis made his first recording in 1956 at the Methodist Television Radio Studios. Heartbreak Hotel was one of the first songs he ever recorded. On this day in 1958, Jerry Lee Lewis was number 1 on the UK singles chart with Great Balls of Fire. Right? On this day in 1964, The Beatles, Introducing the Beatles, was released. Did you know on that album cover, only 3 of them had the mop top cuts? Ringo wouldn't do it. You look at the haircuts. Ringo was one like, I ain't doing it. Nah, not doing it. On this day in 1976, C.W. McCall went to number 1 in the U.S. singles charts with
Convoy.
Attaboy. His real name was Bill Freeze, and he was an advertising agent. Yeah, this is a sad day on this day in 1976. Jack probably more interested in this than most. Blues artist Howlin' Wolf Chester Burnett died in the hospital of cancer at age 66. Young.
Yep.
The guitarist, singer, and harmonica player's well-known songs included Smokestack Lightning, Little Red Rooster, and Spoonful. On this day in 1981, John Lennon's Imagine started the 4-week run at number 1, and I fucking don't care because I hate that song. Moving on. On this day in 1984, Cyndi Lauper, is she in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No.
Cyndi Lauper became the first female recording artist since Bobby Gentry in 1967 to be nominated for 5 Grammy Awards: Album of the Year, Best New Artist, Best Pop Vocal Performance, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. I'm taking it that was the album She's So Unusual, her debut album.
Yeah.
Let's see. On this day in 2001, American guitarist and songwriter and founding member of the Cramps, who had now had a little bit of resurgence since the show Wednesday came out with their remake of Goo Goo Muck, right? The big dance scene, which is a great version of that song. He died after suffering a heart attack at age 46. On this day in 2003, check this out, a haul of 500 Beatles tapes known as the Get Back Sessions, stolen in the 1970s, were found after UK police cracked a major bootleg operation in London and Amsterdam. 5 men were arrested. 500 tapes. How the fuck? Jesus. Not surprising here. On this day in 2005, a woman was suing Gene Simmons from Kiss. You know, the older I get, the more I kind of don't like him.
He's a douchebag.
Yeah, the older I get, the more I look at him, the more douchey he really is. Yeah. And so is Paul Stanley. I think they're both kind of douchebags.
And you know what? It's not just the older you get; it's the older that he gets.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
his opinions and some of the things that he does is just horseshit.
Yeah. He always tries to act like an alpha male. I'd kick fucking Gene Simmons' ass. I'd kick his ass. Try to be an alpha male. I'd make him a beta. Him and his fucking makeup. Anyways, a woman was suing him for slander, alleging a documentary made her out to be a, quote, sex-addicted nymphomaniac. Georgianne Walsh Ward, 53, of New York, said, imagine watching this, and this is you, said during a VH1 documentary, her photo was flashed up as Simmons talked about his past sexual encounters, and Miss Walsh Ward had dated Simmons for 3 years when he was a student. In the documentary, Simmons boasted of having sex with over 4,600 women. How do you come up with that number?
Nobody's boasting about
not 5,000, 4,600.
There's 4,600 women that are denying the fact that they actually slept with that moron.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm ignoring the comment that Mark Smith said, let's hear some guitar playing. Mark Smith is really, he's poking the bear.
I'm behaving myself. I don't even have it in my hand.
He's poking the bear. Mark Smith he's in a mood. He must be drinking that fucking white wine again.
Oh my God. Here you go.
I don't care. At this point, I don't care, buddy. On this day in 2005, American drummer Spencer Dryden died from colon cancer at his home in California. He was the drummer for Jefferson Airplane when he replaced Skip Spence, New Riders of the Purple Sage, and the Dinosaurs. He was the nephew of Charlie Chaplin. There you go. On this day in 2006, an Australian woman appeared in court charged with repeatedly stabbing her partner with a pair of scissors in the back, shoulder, and thigh because he played Elvis Presley's Burning Love over and over and over again. So she snapped and stabbed him. On this day in 2008, Radiohead topped the U.S. album charts with the physical release of In Rainbows, originally sold via the internet for a price chosen by the fans. Wasn't that a free download also?
Fantastic record.
You and I had a debate over that, though, at the beginning of it. I'll never forget this. It's one of those things I just remember that you were kind of like, well, it's not. I don't think you liked it at first. You came across like,
no.
What I said. That's you supposed
what
to
I said. What I said, because here you are saying that you remember it, but you remember it wrong.
I'm trying to be nice. You were really saying the album sucked.
What I said was, when Amnesiac and Kid A had come out, like, radio had lost me for a little bit, and it's not because of their genius. I couldn't keep up, and it took me a while to catch up. The In Rainbows CD at the time, I bought the compact disc. I bought it and listened to it, and I didn't get it the first time that I listened to it.
I'll give you that. That was kind of about what the conversation was.
I was cleaning out my refrigerator, like deep cleaning it, like pulling everything out and washing everything down. And I kept playing that, and after a while, I could not stop listening to it. I thought it was the most amazing, and I do think it's by far, in my opinion, their best piece of work.
It was a great. That was a free download for a minute, wasn't it? It was some sort of like they asked the fans the price, and it was like
they were like, if you want to pay nothing for it, you can pay nothing.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that. Yeah.
By the way, I actually had Radiohead in my music news. So my question was like, where's Radiohead? So I just read this today. It said even if Radiohead's most recent tour wrapped up in 2018, which is now technically 4.5, 5 years, whatever it is, 5 years, right? It says everyone in the crew has been pretty slammed lately. So the Smile, which is Johnny Greenwood and
York,
the lead singer, Tom York. So they've been out. Not only did they release that EP, but they've been playing 9 non-album originals on stage. So they have almost a whole second album ready to go. Ed O'Brien has been recording new material following his 2020 solo debut, Earth. Bassist Colin Greenwood is actually touring as a bass player for Nick Cave.
Oh, shit.
And then Phil Selway is actually working on his third solo album. That came out of an article where they had interviewed Phil Selway, and they were asking, what's the future of Radiohead? And he was like, I'm sure at some point we'll get together, but right now there is no plans. Everybody's doing their own thing.
So I have
just kind of cool. It's kind of
actually, I have something that says Radiohead drummer Phil Selway has confirmed that the alt rock giants, quote, will get together in early 2023. So I guess that's probably an updated story. And I can go into it, but it looks like they're going to.
So
he said we've been very focused on the whole Kid A Amnesiac thing, and I think that's coming to its natural conclusion, going back through the reissue and creating a game scenario around that. We're going to get together at the start of 2023, and I'm sure we're going to start looking at other ideas for what comes next. Hail to the Thief.
That's awesome.
Is a long time since that record, right? Yeah. Jesus. Doesn't even seem that long. So that's when I saw them in 2018. I saw them. They kicked off their tour in Miami.
Yeah, I have to say, and I know that I've said this to you before, if you haven't listened to the Smile record, in my humble opinion, the Smile record is better than the last Radiohead album.
Okay. I'll take your word for it, man. So on this day in 2013, Claude Nobbs, the founder and general manager of the Montreux Jazz Festival, died at age 76. What is he most famous for?
What was his name?
Claude Nobbs.
What is he most famous for? He started the Montreux Jazz Festival.
Well, he's and that's for people that understand jazz, but he is, during a 1971 Frank Zappa concert at the Montreux Casino, the venue caught fire. Nobbs saved several young people who had hidden in the casino thinking they would be sheltered from the flames. This act earned him a mention as Funky Claude was running in and out, pulling kids out of the ground from Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water, which is about the incident. He saved some kids' lives. That's fucking amazing. Sad day on this day in 2016. David Bowie passed. We could go into that, but I think it's, we know who David Bowie was. On this day in 2018, British guitarist Eddie Clark, who was a member of the heavy metal bands Fastway and Motorhead, died in a hospital. He was being treated for pneumonia. He was 67. He was the last surviving member of the original Motorhead lineup. And on this day in 2019, American singer Larry Cunningham died of a heart attack at 67, best known as a member of the R&B soul group The Floaters, who had Float On, Float On, Float On. You ever hear that song? Fucking great song. My name is Cancer. My name is Larry. I like a girl who's smooth. It's fucking great. All right, birthdays and we're done. Birthdays and we're done. A lot of interesting. No, listen, I'll go fast. A lot of interesting birthdays today. So, born in 78, Matt Roberts, guitarist from Three Doors Down. Born in 64. On this day in 64. Brad Roberts, the guy from Crash Test Dummies that goes.
Who gives a shit?
Sean Colvin. She was
birthday.
Let me see. Sean Colvin, Lucy Martin from Michael Schenker. He was born on this day in 1955. Pat Benatar, born on this day in 19.
The music relish guys gotta love Michael Schenker.
Yeah.
That seems like a music relish guy.
Yep. Michael Schenker, 55. Pat Benatar, born on this day in 53. Donald Fagen, born this day from Steely Dan, born on this day in 48. Rod Stewart, born on this day in 1945. Jim Croce, born on this day in 1943. Scott McKenzie, what's he known for?
Scott McKenzie.
He was.
Scott McKenzie was. Are you going to San Francisco?
Yep.
And then he went on to join Bob and Doug McKenzie.
And then they kicked him out of the band because he sucked.
They told him to take off.
Go back to San Francisco. Born on this day in 1935, Ronnie Hawkins. Born on this day in 1927, Johnny Ray, not the Irish singer, the American singer, songwriter and pianist, and teen idol Johnny Ray, who had the 1956 hit Just Walking in the Rain. Not to be confused with Flash in the Pan's Walking in the Rain. That's a great song. Plus over 20 top 40 singles between 52 and 60. Ray has been cited by critics as a major precursor to what became rock and roll. This guy never got the credit he deserved. And born on this day in 1917, Jesus Christ, Jerry Wexler, who created Atlantic, co-owner of Atlantic Records. And that's it, buddy. I am going to fucking go. I got to be up at 3:30 in the morning. You'll probably be on your fucking Peloton at 3:30 in the morning.
No, hey, wait a minute. Where you going? Let's do another hour. Come on.
Mark Smith, come on. You got the link. Come on. You and Jack can do a show, buddy. you and Jack can do a show. Just leave me out of it.
Hey, safe travels, my brother.
I will talk to you when I get into town and get settled in, and we'll definitely hook up for dinner.
Sounds good, man.
And no show next week. No show next week. No podcast.
What?
Yeah.
What?
No podcast. No. I'll do it from my phone if I have to. Then okay.
Listen, you know what? I can't be part of this.
Hey Jack. Hey Jack. Get off my show. See, I got him. I got that motherfucker. I got him. I got him. He was getting ready to cut the cord like he always does. Hey, listen, everybody. I gotta go. I'm already packed. I'm ready to go up to the motherland, up to Boston. I got some stuff I need to take care of. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And as I always say, you're the engine that drives this machine. Without you, it wouldn't be as fun. Thank you for your participation tonight. As usual, for the live streamers and for the podcast listeners, if you like it, share it, send it out. We're going on year 3. This isn't going anywhere. We're just going to keep putting out shows, having fun. Expect more Mark Smith and Lou Colicchio in 2023. I really look forward to doing shows with them. Jack too, I guess. Jack Jack has to be involved, I guess, at this point. Kind of too far into it. But okay, Jack 2. It's going to be a great year. We're going to up the game on this show. We're going to try to improve and make it better. So that's it, guys. Doing this show for you, to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. And I won't see you next week. I will be in the motherland. So maybe I'll do a rebroadcast or something. We'll see. All right, everybody.